What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I almost forgot that you guys wanted a part 3 to Richie the rat saga of Richie. But I saw in the comments today and somebody was like, hey, what's up with that part 3? Can we get it today? So here you go. Those of you that are seeing this video right now, and this is the first video you've seen of mine, or you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, do me a favor and check out parts 1 and 2. I think it's called, and it's gonna be the same here. He was connected, but he was a rat or some shit. I don't know. It's something like that. Look it up. But a lot of people really enjoyed parts 1 and 2. I actually almost finished recording this a few minutes ago, but I had said the officer's name, Zap. I had said his real name twice. The first time I was like, okay, I can edit that out. And the second time I was like, nope, start over. Everything that happens for a reason. Some reason I was supposed to start that over. So here I am. Now, I believe we left off with me being in AdSeg. I was Sally's with my right-hand man on the main line, B. We found ourselves in the crosshairs of the meseros that were on B facility. B and I, we never had any, we had no ill intent towards anyone that was on B facility for what. But they were, a lot of those guys had things happen while they were on B facility that I guess they were worried that we would look into. It's none of our business. None of it was that any of them were rats or anything like that, right? But there were some questionable things as far as conduct. But we were like, that ain't our business. We don't need to add shit to the plate. We already got enough on our plate. But they weren't taking chances. And so we were caught up in this whole thing where they thought they were better. And it was almost like they were poisoning young minds in the oil. Vatos that didn't know any better, because there's never supposed to be a us versus them, at least not vocally, not blatantly. And that's kind of what was happening, right? So me, I was completely focused on Richie. While I was in AdSeg, I was really trying to get it done, right? And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you a glimpse into the questionable thinking that these dudes, these BR cats, the ones that had been on the mesa that were back there with us in AdSeg, the questionable thinking, the questionable thought processes. So when I get back there, I let them know, hey, this is what's going on. I'm getting a green light on this cat. And the next thing smoking, because we had a way to get weed lines from the oil to B and C facilities that was pretty quick. And I'm not going to say how, but we were utilizing the law library, right? And so I said, what days is this possible that we're going to be able to, whatever. And they told me what day. I think it was like, I don't know. They told me what day and get it to this guy. I said, okay. So I let them know, listen, when it came through, I said, listen, I'm going to be sending him the loose, right? Basically, it's a kill kite. I'm going to be sending a weed line with this person that I need this weed line to get to C facility, and it's letting them know what I figured out about Richie and that he needed to go ASAP. Put good ones on him and good ones in him, right? So I get the weed line. I fish it around. It gets to the person it needs to get to so that he can make his drop off, right? And trip on this. That individual was walking down the corridor, and I'd say, damn, I got something in my eye. He's walking down the corridor, and lo and behold, the ISU's there. A lot of people mistakenly call the ISU the IGI. It cracks me up when people call the guys with the black badges the IGI. Not the IG. They're not the IGI. The IGI is a lieutenant. Pelican Bay and Corcoran had a gang unit. That's different. But the ISU were the black patches. Anyways, when he comes out, there they are in the hallway. There they are in the corridor. Why would they be there? Why would they know to tell him, hey, let me see what you're taking to the law library? Could it be that someone from the B facility roster, the meseros that were focused on me and B, could it be that one of them was just like Richie? How the hell did these Juras know to be there? So, suffice it to say, the plan was thwarted. They got the Huila. I could have easily pushed an issue on the guy that got it caught, but you know what? He didn't know. He was a youngster. I was never a snake. I was pissed. They intercepted, if I remember right, they loaded the dude down with like over 50 Huilas to take. You know damn well you got a hot one going right now. I'm trying to have this dude whacked. I'm trying to have him smoked. And you load him down with Huilas, and then all of a sudden the Juras are out there and they get the Huila. So guess what happens? Now Richie comes to Ad Seg. They roll him up. He can't be there no more. They bring him to Ad Seg. They put him in single cell. While he's in Ad Seg, he comes to Ad Seg with a letter that was supposedly from a legend, right? The letter didn't have a fucking crease in it. He brought it from his cell. Didn't have a crease in it. Didn't have an odor to it. How did he bring that without keystring it? Right? And this Huila, supposedly from this legend, was saying that he's a good vato, and for me to back up off of him, or else I'm gonna be on the losing end. Whatever was said. So the BR vatos are like, hey, Holmes, maybe you wanna rethink what you're doing, homie, or at least wait till you get to the bay and this and this and that. And I asked him, how did that Huila get here? How did that letter get here? Look at it. Because they sent it to me. He sent it to them, they read it, and then sent it to me. And I said, look at it. It hasn't even been folded. How the fuck did it get here? The Juras just let him? Why would the Juras let him bring that? So to me, it was like, okay, these bottles are going to be trying to use this in some way to get what they want. They don't give a fuck about Richie. But if they can figure out a way to use that against me and B, that's what they were going to try to do. So me and B are just like, fuck it, this shit's crazy. What the fuck is going on? So Richie was there maybe 30 days. Then he gets kicked out to B facility. Why would they kick him out to B facility? Anywhere else? Look, the huila that was intercepted, that I was sending out, that this kid got sucked up, was extremely clear on what needed to happen and who cleared it. I'm talking about above me. Who cleared it? Who put the green light? Who okayed the green light? In a situation like that, everybody knows that vato is going to get transferred out of that institution. He has to go to another one. CDC ain't taking a chance, right? So somehow, some way, the administration felt it was safe putting him on B facility. Is it because of how they knew the huila was going to be coming through that day and they were able to stand in that corridor? Is there somebody involved in the B facility group that was an ad seg that's feeding the juras? Hey, he wants him hit. We don't agree. You can put him out there. Kind of seems like it, right? So he goes out there. Immediately we find out when he got out there, he was assigned as a clerk in medical. In the medical, there's a hallway where you see the doctor. You turn left. There's a door that goes into the program office. Again, the police department on the yard. So Richie was given a job where he's not going to be on the yard. He's going to be pretty much safe. Dude's going to get patted down to go in there, but they're not going to touch him. They know. Somehow, some way, they know. While this is going down, one of the B facility guys gets served with, I think it was like 12, 13, 1030 forms. Confidential sources were telling on this dude, right? He goes to B yard like 3 days later. 1030s get issued. That's for an investigation. They're supposed to issue them when, they didn't do that. But anyways, so then this dude gets cut loose, right? And now he's on the yard out there with Richie. You have to be careful blatantly saying something, but it was like me and B were like, nobody else thinks this is curious. So to me, there was whispers about the guy, but he had a reputation. He had been around, put in work. And I was like, man, fuck the fucking speculation. I'm going to go ahead and put it to the test. I had approximately 12 dudes on B facility that had told me, fuck these dudes here on B facility, the leadership there. Remember, this is before there's any legends out there, right? And I had about 12 dudes get at me. Basically pledge their loyalty and allegiance, right? Anything you need done out here, we know you're going to clear it right. Let us know. We won't fuck with this mess out here. We'll take off, do whatever you want us to do. I kept that in my back pocket, right? But when this dude got served with those 1030 forms and then got kicked out to the yard, I said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go there. So I send a wheel out to 2 shooters. And I told them, this is cleared. You already know. You know how it got cleared, who cleared it. Came through me. I said, what I need you to do, and maybe this was found on me. I don't think it was. I needed to know, and I wanted everyone to know. In my huila to them, I had another huila wrapped up. And I said, this second huila, hand it to this guy. And it was the guy that the 1030s were dropped on. I said, hand it to him before you hit Richie. Give it to him and go and get Richie, right? So Next thing you know, the weirdest shit happens in prison. I mean, like I'm trying to remember everything, and I'm just like I'm picturing everything. It's so much bullshit, man. So I get a huila, and it's from one of the shooters, and he's like, "Hey, homie, you put us in a bad spot." And I'm wondering, why hasn't this pegada happened already? Why hasn't this hit gone down? Why isn't Richie dead? Right? And I get this huila, and they're like, you put us in a bad spot, homie, because we gave the huila to who you told us to give it to. And he told us, don't go nowhere, let me read it. And when he finished reading it, he said, both of you vatos go back to your cell. Nobody's touching Richie. He was like, we didn't know what the fuck to do when it came to that. It was like, okay, now we're in the middle of some shit. Like, we were willing to go, but when you did that, you know, so whatever. So they were a little upset with me. Well, that dude that I gave the huila to, oh, by the way, a huila came, he sent a huila to one of his buddies in that seg with us, one of the BR guys. And they sent me the huila. And basically he was saying that I was manipulating youngsters to do jales, and that it was just a whole thing that I had, and I was laughing, because when the homie that shot me the huila, he was like, hey, look, Holmes, you know, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm just letting you know. And I told that homie, I said, hey, Holmes, this was approved by a legend. I could push the issue. What he's saying is a bad call, is a call that was okayed up there. He needs to realize what he's saying. But I'm not even going to trip on him, because I wanted things to play out. At the time, that dude that had the 1030s dropped on him, and then he went out to the yard and he told the two shooters, go back in your cell, don't touch him. He had a court case. They used to do hearings in the visiting in A yard, right? And they would take the vatos that had hearings that day, whatever day, and you go in the visiting in A yard, the holding cells, the law visits, right? The lawyer attorney booths, right? They put you in there. Well, that vato had a case. And he went to his hearing. He went to one of the holding tanks, the little holding cells, right? One of my homies from the area was fighting a case. He had done a pegada for me, and him and his celly had hit somebody for me on the yard, and they were fighting the case. So they were in court that day. Well, they were in the little booth. They bring the homie from the area, they bring him out. You guys got to remember, these dudes are in ad seg. Everyone is under escort. 2 cops on each one. The homie's cuffed up, got his hands behind his back. He's walking. The dude that had all the 1030s dropped on him and saved Richie's ass comes under escort, and he tells the homie, hey, and remember, he's on B facility. The homie's in that seg. Both of them have 2 cops escorting them, and he's cuffed up. The homie's cuffed, and he's walking, and he goes, oh, hey, homie, here's that toilet paper you were asking me about, or here's the toilet paper you were asking me for. He has a toilet paper balled up in his hand, and he hands it to the homie. The homie takes it. As soon as he went to grab it, the Juras snatched it out of his hand. It was the huila that I had addressed to him. The one that he read and told the shooters, take it back to your cell. He handed it to another homie under escort. How was he walking around with that in his hand? without the cops knowing. So, once again, Richie's saved. I apologize. I keep rubbing my eyes. Something is definitely in my eye today. Richie gets saved again. They bring him to Ad Seg. And basically, they single celled him. I mean, I got dudes in Ad Seg like, get me in that cell. I'll take him out, right? I can't get anybody in the cell with him. The cops come and tell me straight out, anything happens to him, we know it's you. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They got 2 kites now, 2 kill kites. So now I think it's clear. It's easy to say I expose in this whole little saga, because I'm not going to go into anything else. I'm going to leave. This is the final part I'm going to tell you. But I think it's easy to see and easy to say I exposed 2 rats on this whole little saga. And people kept trying to cover for both. Just so you know, the story ends with Richie did wind up getting whacked later. It took a few years. But he did get whacked. I didn't get any comfort out of it. Didn't make me happy. It was just a damn shame the way everything went and how people were overlooking their obligations and responsibilities in order to save their friends and allowing people like that to run around wrecking people. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Remember, watch part 1 and 2. Watch all 3 of them. A lot of you guys said you liked the story. That's a glimpse. It's treacherous in there. It is not for the faint of heart. Anyways, everybody please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.